Alrighty, we're speaking with Jeff Keith of Tesla, and I'm very pleased to be speaking with you after all these years, Jeff. Thanks for spending some time with us here in Tucson.
Awesome. Thanks for your time too, Larry. Tucson.
So I got a question for you. So you got the new album, Full Throttle Live, which I presume it's the Full Throttle Saloon that Jesse James Dupree's part of, right?
That's correct. But now, from what I understand, the saloon maybe had a fire and now it's an outdoor venue. So it was awesome.
Oh wow.
Great vibe, motorcycles galore. And it just felt so good. And we had it recorded and decided, hey, let's put this out. It sounded so good, felt so good. The vibe was awesome.
And for those who don't know, that's in Sturgis, where the big motorcycle rally is every single
That's
year.
right.
So
Yeah.
so you just released a cover of an Aerosmith tune, SOS Too Bad. And I was watching the video and it didn't look like it was recorded. It's on the album, but it didn't look like it was recorded at Sturgis. And then I read somewhere that it was
No,
actually recorded in Frank's garage.
well, yeah, it was Frank's garage, as a matter of fact. Yes, he's got a nice setup in his garage, and that's where we go to write and stuff. And so he's got it all set up for video, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting there looking at that going, wow, that's really cool. I mean, and then I was reading,
Yeah.
but I go, wait, that does not look like a bar.
Well, no, we had the recording set up to record the show, but we didn't have cameras filming it, so
So that was cool.
we
So
made
you
our
went
own
and did
video.
that. That's
Yeah,
awesome. Fantastic.
yeah.
So why that Aerosmith song?
Ah, man, because we just cut our teeth on Aerosmith. I mean, it's one of our biggest influences is Aerosmith. So yeah. And so when it was to pick an Aerosmith song, it's like, let's go back to the early, get your wings, and it's a blast to play and sing, and it's a great song. We love it. We
So
thought the fans would too.
when you guys put out this new live album, you did it at Sturgis. So you said you recorded, I got the impression, do you record a lot of your shows? And then was this one that you decided, oh, we really like the way this turned out and decided to release it?
I think they record every night just in case, it's not so much for putting out a live record, but it's to, just, I guess because of technology, they can just record every night.
Yeah.
So they recorded it and then decided, hey, now it's like the acoustic record. They were feeling so good. We thought, well, hey, let's bring out 5 cameras. Let's record the show. And then that got shelved for 6 months. And next, we play the song on the radio acoustically. And next, it's a whole evening of Tesla. So we record every show, I think, on, the computer. I forget the name of the
But the
program
things
they
you can
use,
do
but
now, you can do that easily now.
yes, yes.
Compared to the old days when you started recording and when I started DJing, everything was on tape and bulky and all kinds of things.
That's right. The warm tape. Yes.
Yes, which I do miss sometimes because it's, when I go back and I listen to some of my favorite albums over time and I go, they did that on tape. How did they do
Yes.
that on tape?
I know. Well, what's great about tape is when you punch in and out, it had to be right there. Now with the computer stuff, you can move things around. And so that's the one thing I appreciate about doing on tape is when you punch in and out, it's got to be right on.
So what you guys are doing this date what is it, this residency up at Mandalay Bay, and you're going to be there. You just added 5 more dates, I saw.
Yep, it's at the House of Blues, which is connected to Mandalay Bay.
Yeah, and it's a great
And
venue. I've been there. If you've never been there, check it out.
and we've done it. We did it back in March, and it went so well that they said, "Hey, let's do another one." So,
So
29th
is there any
through
plans to do
October
a
7th.
tour?
Is there any plan to what?
Tour after this?
We,
Maybe come to Tucson. So
I know what's up with that. We always go and play Tucson, and I don't know what's up with that. The last few years, I don't know if it's ever since COVID hit. I'm not really sure, but we always played Tucson, Phoenix, down in Arizona, and for whatever reason, I have no idea why.
yeah, because it seemed for a while there, I was seeing you at the Pima County Fair. I saw you open up for Def Leppard up in Phoenix. Then you were at Ava. It was like I was seeing you every couple of years. And then when the pandemic hit, well, that changed for everything. But hopefully we can get you back in Arizona here soon because I know the state loves you.
I know we know the fans are there. It's getting the opportunity to play somewhere.
That's true. So we got to get these promoters on this. So we got to get them going.
Yes.
So, so talk to me. You guys have been together. What is it now? 36 years, something like that.
36 since our first record came out in 86. Yeah.
Did you think back then that you'd still be doing this now? Or because a lot of bands, a lot of your contemporaries from back then are broken up, they're gone. They're not making music anymore, but you guys are still doing it.
Yeah. Hey, well, in 86, we didn't even know if it was going to work, and it worked out great.
Yep.
And things are still working out great 36 plus years later. And if you would have asked us back then, we probably would have went, hey, we have no idea. No, but hey, it's going great. People are still coming out. We're still putting out, having fun. People are having fun. So it's still working.
What do you attribute that to?
We attribute that to just being real, writing songs from the heart, playing them from the heart, getting up there, performing them from the heart. And people really pick up on that, I think. And that's one of the beauties of Tesla is it's just the real deal.
Because
You know,
the one thing about you guys, you kind of came in on that hair scene, that was the glam scene, but I never ever like Great White, I never considered either of those bands, your band or them, a hair band. I considered you guys more of a blues band, and that just had more modern technology than some of those, those blues bands. And there's in the spirit of, like you said, Aerosmith and the Stones and stuff like that.
sure. Yeah, we're just a hardworking blue collar rock band, and it's still working.
I know you. What was it, about a year ago? You released Cold Blue Steel,
Yep.
and then you had another tune after that. Any plans for another studio album? You got this live one out, but any plans for, or are you going to be just kind of, because I know the record industry has changed. So is it going to be more like you're going to drop a single when you feel like you got one that you want to release to the world?
Yes. Yeah, there are plans maybe in the next year or two to put out a record. But right now, from what I understand and what they've explained to me is with this new technology and being able to download a song, it sort of goes back to the days of the 45 record. And where a lot of people just back in the day, they just released singles, with a B-side on a 45 single.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, from what I understand, new technology, this is like a new way to do that. But yes, we do have plans to put out a record. And of course, we'll have to write a few more songs to do that. But
You got a point there. When you think about the early days of the Beatles, they were a singles band. They really didn't do albums until later.
right. And then sometimes the B side ends up, they put out the single and then the B side, you got to have a B side. And we've had a lot of fun doing songs for B sides. And next, the B side hits it off. So you never know.
Yeah, I think I've heard the record industry use the term a fan track as the B side. And I've heard quite a few go, I actually like the fan track better. It's like,
okay, well, with new technology, I'm not so sure there's a B side, but I could be wrong. Once again, Larry, I'm just the guy they hand the microphone to. And they say that stage.
You go that way. Well,
right.
I hope that you go through, because I'm looking forward to hearing some new music. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing you in Las Vegas at the Residency.
Sure.
And of course, the new album is a lot of fun to listen to. Especially, it's fun to listen to a live experience of a band that you've seen live so many times, but actually to hear a live experience at a venue you've never been to, but have heard so much about.
It's a great venue, and we always have a great time up there. And for a guy like me, it's better off. I don't even know we're recording. Just get up there and do what you do. You capture it. And that's what they did. And got a recording of it. And people are loving it.
So, Jeff, I mean, I've seen you so many times in concert, and you've got your own style. Who did you grow up listening to that made you want to get on stage and be a singer in a band?
Well, my first concert was Day on the Green, #3 at the Oakland Coliseum in 1978. I was 19 years old, got up there, Van Halen opened the show. That was great. But AC/DC when they took the stage with Malcolm Young on that rhythm guitar and Bon Scott, he got up there. It went from David Lee Roth in this cool green and white striped bell-bottom pants, and Eddie Van Halen had his matching overalls with his guitar, and that was great. And but when Bon Scott took that stage in jeans and tennis shoes and rocked that mic, that has to be my ultimately biggest inspiration. And then, of course, it was Pat Travers, Foreigner, and Aerosmith headlined. So Steven Tyler is one of my biggest inspirations, but I would have to say my biggest is Bon Scott.
So you got to see Bon Scott live in
Got to
concert.
see Bon Scott, and that guy, the way he just wasn't a cordless mic. He just had that microphone, and he went up there in jeans and tennis shoes, no shirt, and just rocked that mic. And I just, every night I step on stage, I just go, Bon Scott.
Oh, that's amazing. And you know what? They're another band that's, been around forever and still putting out music and still hopefully touring again too. The world has changed quite a bit because of the pandemic, but you're back on the road, and I'm hoping we hear soon. We will. I know we will.
We got to get back to it. There's too many. We just love Tucson. We love Phoenix. We love all those places. It's just for some reason, there's some areas that we're not going to that really worked well for us, and I have no idea. It's a complex thing, obviously, or we would be back there, because Tucson loves us and we love Tucson.
Well, in the meantime, you're going to be up in Las Vegas doing a residency at the House of Blues at Mandalay Bay. And what were those dates again?
September 29th through October 7th. We do 5 shows in 10 days.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of fun. And we'll hook up some information about that show on our website so people can go buy tickets. And hey, it's only a 6-hour drive if you're driving the way I drive up to Tucson to Vegas.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half flight for us. And no, but it's really a great time. When we did it in March, at first, my first instinct of, hey, how about we do this residency thing? It's a big deal. And I'm like, you know what? I'm used to being like a troubadour, like going from town to town.
Yeah.
I like playing to different audiences. But you know what? It turns out it really was a fantastic, great time. And a lot of people are flying in from all over. And who doesn't love Vegas? So people love coming to Vegas. It's just party, just have fun, let your hair down. And the shows turned out great, and they're going to be even better this time around.
What can people expect? I mean, obviously you do the hard rock and stuff, and you guys got, I think you were one of the originators of bringing the acoustic version thing back with the 5-man acoustic jam. Do you do any of that type of stuff too? I mean, I saw you did a whole tour about 20 years ago of all the acoustic stuff. Saw it at the Celebrity Theater up in Phoenix. Are you kind of doing a combination of that now?
Well, after the acoustic record, what we did when we were playing arenas is we would start off electric and then break it down acoustically for a few songs. So I think we might be doing something like that again. Bring out the bar stools, bring out the piano and all that kind of stuff, and sit down with the acoustic guitars. But I can't promise you that's what's going to happen, but I think that's the idea.
All right. So it's basically, do you guys do the same set every night too?
Well, actually, we have the staple songs. You can't go to a Tesla show without hearing Love Song, Modern Day Cowboy, What You Give, Heaven's Trail. So we got what we call the staple songs. I think there's about 12 of them, which allows us to do 4 or 5 songs differently every night. And so, a lot of songs that we maybe haven't played since last year or the year before, we'll bring those back out. And then we like to pull out what we call a rabbit in the hat. Oh, wait, a rabbit in the hat. Yeah, a rabbit out of the hat. We like to pull a rabbit out of the hat. And it's fun for us because then we work it up to play songs that, sometimes we haven't played since the first record or the second record.
Oh, wow. And that's funny. A lot of people who aren't musicians don't realize that sometimes if they just yell a song out in the crowd that you maybe haven't played in 30 years, you're like, I have to remember how to play that again.
Tell me about it. Yeah. Sometimes I need a little cheat sheet to look down on. I wrote the words, but I still got to look down and go, what I write back then? But actually, we have a lot of fun doing it. And the people, they enjoy that. So they see us enjoying it. They're enjoying it. Next, it's full circle. Everybody's having a blast.
Now I know that I go to a lot of shows now, especially with the bands from the '80s and the '90s and stuff like that. You look out in the crowd, and I'm seeing. It's interesting. I'm seeing the younger generation getting into the older rock. What's it like to
Yes.
be on stage and look down and see younger
You know
faces?
what? That is fantastic. And they know the words better than me. And they're young. They're like 12, 15, 16, 18, whatever it may be. The younger generation is, and I don't think these are the kids that, because sometimes fans will come up and they would say, "Hey, I grew up listening to you," and I go, "Were you strapped in a car seat and had no choice, and mom and dad kind of shoved it down your throat?" And they went, "Yes, and I still love it." And then there's other ones that say, "No, actually, I've just discovered it and I love it."
I had a listener show up at an event one time, and it was funny. I was playing a song, it was by AC/DC, and this guy goes, "Man, I remember this song, man. This reminds me of my youth." And I look at him,
Yeah.
he looks like he's about 30, and I go, "Your youth?" And then he goes, "Yeah, man, Guitar Hero." And I went,
Oh,
"Oh, okay." To me, it was a cassette
yeah.
player. Okay.
Yeah. For me, 8-track tapes were a big deal.
I went to the 8-track tapes, yeah.
Okay.
For the
All
longest
right.
time, I thought certain songs faded out in the middle, made a loud click, and then faded back in.
But the beauty of it is you could maybe walk away or maybe kind of nod out and you could wake up and it was still playing.
Yeah, I kept going, just kept
Never
rotating.
stopped.
Never had a rewind.
Never had a rewind. But those were the days too in a cassette tape where you had to rewind.
Oh yeah, or it got eaten up in the cassette player in your car.
Oh, and then you had to pull it out
Yep,
and have to tape it together.
yep, and the pencil came to become very important.
Yes, to pencil. Those were the days.
Yes, they were. Hey, Jeff, I appreciate you taking time today. I really do. I've been waiting to meet you for a long, long time. I've never been able to meet you at a meet and greet, but to get to have a one-on-one conversation with like this with you is definitely a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Larry.
All right, so Tesla at the end of this month up in Vegas at the House of Blues. I think you said September 29th through October 6th or 7th?
7th.
October 7th. All the details you can find right here at klpx.com. Jeff, I will be seeing you at the end of this month. I'll be in the crowd. So I'm looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it, Larry. Be sure and come back and say hello.
I definitely will. And we're also going to play some of your new stuff here all this week right here on 96.1 KLPX.
All right. Thank you. Enjoy.